There are plenty of discussions about perks, especially from me. Ranking perks, talking about perk systems and mechanics, all the different variations and modifiers. But there's one thing I've wondered. Something eating away at the back of my mind like some kind of parasite. What is the worst perk of all time from all of the mainline games? It's not as easy of a question as, say, the best perk. Most would say Jug, some would say Dying Wish, or Widow's Wine. But with worst, it's not so simple. The only way to really find out what the worst perk of all time is by looking through all of the games and finding out the worst perk in each one, then comparing and contrasting how bad each one is to truly see which is the worst of the worst. Let's begin where all perks began. World at War Verrucht. Now, some would say Double Tap would be the default worst perk of the four, but I disagree. Even if you're of the opinion that it doesn't help much or wastes ammo, it does at least something, which what it really does is make you fire your gun 33% faster, which means bullets are leaving your weapon quicker, which means zombies are dying faster. It's not a bad perk. You know what is? A perk that does literally nothing at all. In solo. Yeah, unfortunately, as Quick Revive does indeed revive your teammates faster in co-op, in solo it does absolutely nothing, which would later be fixed in BO1, but still, any perk that you can buy and it doesn't do anything is a complete waste of money. So solo Quick Revive is the pick for World at War, but how about Black Ops 1? BO1 has a great assortment of perks. None are really bad, except for one. Another perk that, depending on your platform, will do absolutely nothing. Deadshot. You know, I kind of feel bad not putting Mule Kick here, but really, the fact that on PC, because there's no aim assist, you don't even get the intended effects, yeah, that's pretty bad. What it does is make you lock onto zombie heads when aiming on console, and tightens up your hipfire accuracy a little bit. But other than that, there's not much reason to buy it. Besides, it really isn't that hard to aim for zombie heads. They're much slower moving and predictable targets than other players in multiplayer, so by default, Deadshot is the worst in Black Ops. Now on to 2, and oh boy. There are some bad perks in this game. Credit where it's due, they tried with some creative ideas, but they all just didn't pan out. It's kind of hard to pick the worst, honestly, but I think my logic is sound on this one, so I'll explain. Tombstone is the worst, and I'll tell you why. Firstly, you have to go down and die to even activate it. That sucks. Going down sucks, and normally perks are designed to help prevent you from going down, so already that's no good. Secondly, you have to rely on your teammates to finish the round in order for you to even attempt to come back and claim your tombstone. Thirdly, the tombstone has a time limit for you to pick it up, which is way too fast, making it completely worthless on transit, the main map it was made for. And fourthly, in solo it doesn't even exist. It doesn't spawn in, because it's a perk that you can only use when you bleed out, and you can't bleed out in solo. So another perk situationally to co-op that does nothing in solo because it isn't even there, and is already useless on the one map it would be helpful on. The jingle might be a banger, but the perk itself, it's bad. Don't think I forgot about Exo Zombies. I wish I could, but I can't. Here, it's no question what the worst perk is. It's Exo Slam. So you take an inherent ability of the exosuit from the multiplayer, take it away, make them have to buy it back as a perk, and make it awful. In this game, you want to be as far away from the zombies as possible. If you get hit once, it's guaranteed 5 more are coming. And when there's an EMZ, the last thing you want to do is slam right down onto him. And this thing doesn't even kill into the 20s, it just makes crawlers. If you're going to make this ability have a ridiculously long cooldown, you could at least make it do actual damage. Terrible perk, terrible game. Next. Black Ops 3. Yep, it's Deadshot again. It's a shame, really. The only new perk they added was Widow's Wine, which is great, and a lot of the returning perks are very useful in this game. Deadshot, once again, just gets left by the wayside, and the fact that Widow's Wine has such importance placed on it in the selection of perks, it's even more limited. Nobody would ever go out of their way to buy Deadshot in Black Ops 3. Infinite Warfare has a large selection of perks, and thankfully most of them are very good. But one isn't. Trailblazers, which from the description and the looks of the perk sounds awesome, but it does so little damage, it's just not worth it. You'd think that perhaps you could charge up a slide and do some extra damage with it, but no. The flames left behind on your trail is just pretty pathetic, honestly. Again, it looks cool, but man, is it worthless in any round above the teens. Black Ops 4 introduced a lot of new perks. Some great, some good, and a few bad. Very bad. But the question of which is the worst is one that I did answer in my video ranking all the perks in that game. I said, and still believe, it is Mule Kick. Mule Kick is a perk that has never had any real practical use outside of high round strats on BO1. There is no practical purpose, especially in Black Ops 4, to having 3 guns over any of the myriad of better perks in this game. It's a simple matter of being an inconvenience rather than a bad perk. Because at least Death Perception helps new players, and Blaze Phase can kill on any round. For Cold War, it's really hard to pick here because a lot of the perks are pretty broken, except for one. Yep, it's Tombstone again, which is a real shame because it's a combination of Who's Who and OG Tombstone. It should be good, it should be better, but you don't keep all of your perks when you revive yourself with it. Why? Seriously, why? That's the whole point of the perk. It's worthless. Absolutely pointless, because it doesn't do what it's supposed to do. You don't keep your perks. I'm going to skip Vanguard for this one, not because Vanguard sucks, lol, but mostly because all the perks are necessary and all are good when you're on high rounds and when they're upgraded. Vanguard has plenty of problems, but the perks aren't one of them. But boy, oh boy, Modern Warfare 3. Did the perks ever get hit by a massive nerf in this game? They all feel terrible, every one of them. Honestly, it was difficult to choose which is the worst because I hate how badly they've made all of these. But if there's one perk that I think is the worst in Modern Warfare 3, it has to be Stamina Up. I've made like 3 videos highlighting it at this point. Stamina Up in Modern Warfare Zombies is trash. You can't outrun dogs with Stamina Up. I don't need to say any more than that. You already are slowed down by damn near everything in this game, and having a perk that has always been useful to be this lackluster is just embarrassing. All these perks are bad. Oh, so bad. Picking one out of all of them to be the very worst may seem like a very big task. There's plenty of arguments in favor for any of these. But for those astute viewers, you've probably been waiting for something, or perhaps you think I forgot. Oh no, I didn't, because I've saved the worst for last. Because there is a perk that's worse than World at War Quick Revive and BO2 Tombstone. More useless than Exo Slam or Deadshot, I'm talking the bottom of the barrel of zombie abilities. The last thing anyone would ever buy, the worst perk of all time. Shieldblitz.
What did he just say? Check the prompter.
Otherwise known as World War II Zombies Electric Cherry. Now, how on earth could this be the worst perk in Zombies history? You want to know why? I'll show you. You see that? Look at that. Look at how awful that range is. There is no circumstance where that is going to ever save you. It has no range, no damage, and the feedback is so terrible when you reload it. It is almost impossible to tell that you even have it at all. You have to literally be making out with a zombie in order to have the effect even work. I have never once used this perk and had it save me from getting hit or being trapped. Never. It's a waste of a slot where you would absolutely use more valuable perks in. If you play World War II, you never use this. Not on low rounds, not for Easter eggs, not for high rounds, not even for fun. It's the worst perk ever. I will never buy it again outside of getting footage to show you how terrible it is. So, have you used this perk? Or perhaps you believe there's another that's worse? Let me know, because I would argue nothing is as terrible and a waste of a perk slot than Electric Cherry in World War II.